Hello everybody and welcome to WOR Tier 3 today around one of the most iconic circuits on the F1 calendar, Spa-Francorchamps. We are now in the Belgium forests. So as we now start this qualifying session, it is a sprint race weekend, sprint race session should I say really. As we are now heading out onto qualifying. So of course this will not determine pole position for the main race, that is what the sprint race will do. And as we are now mainly going to see who is the quickest over 1 lap pace and put them in the best position for pole in the sprint. So as most drivers heading out on track now, quickly, as I will in a second get up the championship standings from last week's race, as we have a Haas of Jacob, I think, or is it Louise? I think it's Louis. So here we go through the bus stop chicane, going wide for a nice exit there. We now go on board with the Haas driver. Now going up into the source, turn on, braking at 100 meters. A hard turning because it's actually quite understeery on the exit. Misses the apex a tiny bit, but a very nice exit. So now going down the hill and about to go up into a Rouge and Radion. Very fast, very understeery through there. Nicely done. Now open up the DRS as we now head down Le Camel Straight into Le Com. Now flying down, it's a 29.9 first sector by Luis. We go through the con, missing the first apex, and we'll get a bit slidey off the second apex and onto the exits now. Going down into Ravage, lock up central this corner. Doesn't look up, and manages to get the car rotated very nicely. Now into No Name. Nicely done. Oh, gets a bit loose on the exit and nearly invalidates. Somehow didn't. As I think he backed off, I don't know, but through Puon, nicely done, taking that inside curb on the entry, now into this chicane. It's the only breezy corner I don't know on this track. Was he gone a bit wide again, somehow not invalid. Now through Stabilo 1, going through Stabilo 2, a 15.8 in the middle sector. You see as he heads up into Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane, what Luis can do. So now into Blanchimont, nicely done, very fast, flat out through there. Now into the bus stop chicane, braking at 100 meters. Needs to get both apexes right, and you need a good exit to really finish the lap strong. As he comes across the line, it's a 44.1. I don't know if he backed out of that lap. As we have Cheetah coming across the line with a 43.5, and then we have Blackie nearly a second quicker with a 42.6. As there is some more. Oh, as Cheetah's actually spun on his in lap, as we have an Aston Martin coming to the line. That is of Raven, who goes up into P2 with a 42.9. We're going to stay on board with FGE Latifi as Master Squid goes into P3 with a 43.3. So we're going to stay on board with Latifi now. Going in to the bus stop chicane, braking just after the 100 meters. Getting it nicely rotated through the first apex and through the second apex of bus stop. So now coming up to the line, what would it be for Latifi? It's only P6, a 43.9 by the Mercedes man. Now, who is coming across the line next? It is an Alpine. We'll see where they shoot up to. I might have been invalid that, but we stick on board with JT. What can he do after a strong result in Australia? I don't know how well he did in Britain. I don't even know if he raced in Britain. But as we get up the championship standings, as Hayden Cass moves into P8, I think that was Tom moving into P10. Quickly. Standings. As Passy moved up to 4th place there, championship leader I want to say. Standings. So Passy is in P1, 13 points clear of Amaze in P2, and 21 points clear of Latifi in P3, who did of course miss 2 race weekend, so it's nice to have the Tiffy back today. So of course this is the second of 3 sprint races. The next one will be at Abu Dhabi. And not many drivers raced last week, so that wasn't the greatest of situations. But as these sort of runs have died out of it, shall go on board with Phoenix on that. No, I guess we'll go on board with the Red Bull of Harv on his outlap. Let's see what he can do. Hopefully he can pull a good lap out of the bag and move himself up quite a few places. See him go through Blanchimont. I think he's the only guy, except from him and Aiden, but he is further around the lap. So we'll stick on board with Harv, but he's, I think, first run in qualifying so far. Opening up the DRS on the exit and now crossing the line to start his lap. We'll stick on board with Harv as he's now going into turn 1, into the source, missing the apex, but managing to get the car rotated. There's a Ferrari exiting the pit lane there of Blackie, but he manages to keep out the way of Harv. So now going up through Arouge and Radion. Nicely done, keeping it tight to that inside line. Now on to the Camel Straight. Now all the way down. This is a really long, really fast straight into a heavy braking sort of Lecom. 29.9 first sector. Now through Lecom, nicely done in the 5th gear. Fast right-hander going down into Beau Rivage now. Does lock up a bit, but managed to get the car rotated up in 5th gear for the power and traction. Nicely done through there. No Name, nice as well, using all the track he possibly can. So in to Pouon, nice, really nice, keeping it tight to the inside line again, trying to maximise as much time as possible. Now into the chicane, using a tiny bit of that inside curb. Now using a huge amount of the second apex inside curb. Now into Stabilo 1, nicely done, hitting the apex, using all the track, running wide, a 14.7 middle sector through Stabilo 2, nicely done. That's flat out, but does sometimes create a bit of understeer for the drivers. Now going through Blanchimont, what will Harv be able to take provisional pole off Blackie as he into the heavy braking zone of the bus stop chicane? How is the exit? It's good, opens up the DRS and across the line comes Harv. It's P3, a 42.918, only 11 thousandths off Raven in the Aston Martin ahead. Back out of his lap. We'll go on board with Aiden. He is on the lap, I think. Yes, he is. So through Stabilo 1, what will his middle sector be? A 14.6, only about a 10th off Harv. No, as he flies along this straight, which is technically a corner. The left hand of Brodron, nicely done. Fly up into this heavy braking zone, braking at the 100 metre board, getting the car rotated nicely, hitting the first apex, second apex, all but gets a bit loose on the exit, a bit of oversteer. She comes up to the line. It's a 42.899, losing a bit of time on the exit. He is 8 thousandths quicker than Raven, but gets the lap done, and up into P2 goes Hayden as its van has retired from the session. Looks like it could be a crash, so we'll go on board with JT, I think. Or McLaren or Blair. So we look back. Yeah, he's crashed on the exit. Oh, as we catch Blair spinning round on the exit of the of No Name, not being able to get the power down as quickly as he wanted. No, he did not. Backed out. I think it was half a tenth down in the middle sector. As who So, will he go for another run? I think he might box. Yeah, he's boxing. Here's Blackie, as that was a car. Flying up the order there. It was TMS Amazed going up into P6 at 43.2 from the Williams driver. He is in P2 in the championship and ahead of his championship rival Passy. But Passy is up by a 10th. So let's see what the AlphaTauri man could do. The championship leader of Tier 3. Really strong since the start of the season. He's up by 4/10 of a second. Nearly half a second he is up by. Let's see what Passy can do in this final section of the lap. Can he still provisional pole off of VLX Blackie? Or will Passy only have to resort to P2? So into the bus stop chicane. He needs it nice. Bit of a lock up. Oh, a bit of oversteer on the exit of the first part of the bus stop. But as he comes up to the line now, what will this be for Passy? It's a 42.996. Puts himself into P5. Not strong enough at the end of the lap to really pressure Blackie's pole time. What about Master Squid? What can he do across the line? Into P6. He beats Flat Blocky Man. He's at 43.057. Nicely done by the Mercedes man. There's a hat stopped on the side already. Ruiz, he managed to get going. I think he might have spun on the exit or pull him. We shouldn't be surprised if we see any rain. Belgium is very notorious for its wet races. Shush on the lap? I think he is. Shush. Now going into Stabilo 1, he's really rated the tyre. Oh no, he's backed out, he's 6 laps down. I think it might be half by himself again. No, Luis is not on the lap. So now we wait for the first driver to come across the line to start a new lap. We'll stick on board with Harb on his out lap. P2 last race. I think he had a pretty good result. It was a pretty good result for him in Silverstone after a hard few races for the Red Bull man. Goes through Stabilo 2. Very near the starting east lap. For some reason though, they've made it so the outlap ends on the last sector, but he's not actually on the lap. So here we go with half 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. As he opens up the DRS to start his lap. Let's see if Harv can challenge for pole. It'll be his final run of the session as he goes into the source. Nicely done through there, hitting the apex and having a beautiful exit. Actually, no, he backs out of it. So obviously not happy with that turn 1. Backs out of it. Luckily, you can actually save the fuel round here. So we'll go on to, I think it might be Blair. Yeah, it is Blair. So what can Blair do is starting to get a bit overcast. Maybe the rain is coming earlier than we thought. Blair having a huge moment, trying to line himself up for his final run of the session. So we'll stick on board with the McLaren into turn 1 into the source. What can he do through here? A bit wide of the apex. Nice on the exit though, as that's the AlphaTauri, I think, of Passy, keeping out of the way nicely. Now he's about to fly through a Rouge and Radion, keeping it tight and using all the track he possibly can to keep that car in a straight line and use gain as much time as possible. Going into the commies at 29.8. Of course, he hasn't set a valid lap time so far in this session. Through the right hander, nicely done through there in 6th gear. He's got an Alpine ahead that really needs to get out of the way of, I think it might be Shush. Now in to No Name. What will he do? Nicely done as the Alpine does get out of the way very nicely. Actually might have given a tiny bit of a slipstream from the start. Through pull, I'm using all of it out wide. Nice, trying to reduce the amount of momentum lost now into the chicane over the inside curbs. Oh, that was so close to an invalidation from there, just within the white line. So into Stabilo 1, using a lot of that inside curb, and of course with the exit curb at a 14.4 in the middle sector. This is one of the best middle sectors we've seen so far. Well, from the spectator view, I don't know what the fastest time is actually. Now going in to the final 2 corners of the bus stop chicane. Will he be able to get the car stopped? A bit wide of the first apex, but it sets him up nicely for the second. Opening up the DRS. What would it be for Blair? Would it be provisional pole? It just isn't. Blair, 1/10 and 1500ths off Blackie. Just not good enough for the McLaren man to claim that provisional pole. Go on board with Harv. He's up by 700ths. No, he's backed out, that's it. Harv is over. That surely is his final run of the session done. Or is he backed out? I don't know. It looks like he's backed out, but... yeah, he's backed out. There's no reason. Yeah, he's definitely backed out. Should have gone board with your championship leader of purple. Sector 1, not... oh, he manages to get the com nicely. That's shush off there. He's gone into the wall. There's a huge train of cars in the final corners. Let's quickly look at this. What is this? Thiefy's well off the track. Like, guys, come on. What is this? Thiefy's off the track, letting them on through. Of course, oh, that's Blackie round. Your pole man is spun round on the exit of no name. I don't know how much he was up by. So of course the Tiffy can't go again and start 16th. A championship contender really far down the order. With Passy going up through Gonchman, and that massive train may have resulted in some cars not being able to get a clean run on their lap and really to get held up by the cars ahead. So here we go with Passy. He does have time in this final sector. We did see it. Gets the first apex, second apex, nicely done. Just needs to make sure he gets a good exit. Opens up the DRS. Where's the provisional pole? It just isn't. By 18 thousandths of a second, Passy sits in P2 as Raven invalidates. Harv, of course, in the pit lane. Go on to Master Squid. Actually, we'll go on to the first of the 2 passes, which actually is Jacob. That's a spun card there. That's a Williams, I think, of TMS and Maze. And it is! And Maze cannot do anything. Cheetah goes up into P8. Quickly go on to Jacob, bro. What can he do? 15.2 in the middle sector. Not the quickest we've seen so far, but as long as he sets a lap on the board, he surely should really promote himself up into the top 15. He comes across the line now. What would this be for Jacob? It is 15 for 43.7. As now everyone started to file across the line. It's 12th for Heyman Cass. This qualifies in 11th. Take that down to 12th as that was... oh my god, everyone's moving up places. You can't really see it too well. JT in 11th. As that is Luis going into 13th. As where did Master Squid go? I don't think he did improve. Yes, he did. He's up into 8th. Tiffy, this is going to be the last man across the line here. Starts in 18th. One of the championship contenders down on the back 2 rows of the grid. I think he was actually on a lap, but got held up by that massive train. Yeah. So the Tiffy saying in the tier 3 chat, he got blocked by that traffic on a lap. That was not good for the man P3 in the championship. Surely he's going to be gutted with that. But there's still a sprint race he can make it up in. Of course, Blackie is not on pole just yet. Apparently Jacob backed everyone up from the middle sector. That's why that was a huge queue. Of course, the gentleman's rule is you don't overtake. So, your grid for the sprint race is Blackie in P1 by 18 thousandths of a second from Passy. In P2, we have Blair in P3, Aiden P4, Raven P5, Half P6, Blocky Man P7, 8th is Mosquid, Tom 9th, Cheetah 10th, he rounds out the top 10. So as we will do the rest of the grid in a minute, and we'll do the rest of the grid once we load in to this lobby of the sprint race. Maybe it could be raining, it could be dry, we do not know. It is a dry sprint race. So go for the grid if my race director wants to work. So we did say Cheetah in 10th. We have JT in 11th, Amazed in 12th, Luis in 13th. 14th is this, 15th Hayden Cass, 16th Jacob, 17th Phoenix, 18th Latifi, and 19th and 20th are both the Alpines of Shush and It's Fan. So as now, surely everyone will go on the medium tyres, so we won't look at that for too long, as of course the sprint race points do count right now, so it's not all over for everyone just yet. So everyone's saying, yeah, it was just half a lap. Apparently Jacob was warming the tyres. I don't get how I was warming the tyres by backing everyone up. But, to be fair, it is what it is. It happened. So, as we're waiting for this Grand Prix sprint race to start, of course, only the top 8 get points here. And a win, I think, is only 8 points in the sprint. As of course we found out the new F1 calendar today with 24 races. Personally, I think might be a bit too much. If they definitely had another race, it would be over the top. And of course we found out that Monaco will stay on the calendar till 2025, which personally I like, because I do like a bit of Monaco. Of course, the streets, most iconic streets in F1 history. We'll wait and see what this race though has in store, what we can find out of who has the best race pace. So as we're still waiting, I don't know how long we'll wait for. As we're starting now, we are readying up for the Belgium Grand Prix sprint race. We can see who will be on pole position for the main race. Will it be Blackie? Will it be Passy? Will Latifi make up quite a few positions? It's all that coming down to this now, as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are underway in Belgium. Go, go, go. As it seems that Blackie gets a really good start off the line. Passy does not, and he's under attack from Blair into turn 1. He's nearly gone into Blackie as Blair gets the position ahead of Passy. So now, as they all head down, as there's a crash in the back, and that's the Latifi round. Latifi and this have come together, but we'll stick on board with this as Passy is now overtaken by Half. Half goes a bit wide down the switchback. We're going to go 3 wide down the gom, as here comes Aiden. Will he be able to make a move on Passy? We're going 2 by 2 now, going into the com. Who will win out on this? It seems to be Aiden around the outside, and it is a really nice move there from the Alfa Romeo man. So as we have another crash, it's a huge incident. Oh, there's cars everywhere. As that's It's Fan going off the road, and Cheetah is out. Cheetah has retired, and that's brought out a virtual safety car to calm down this action. And that was major racing going through the com. Hopefully we have that on that one Next time around, if JT has a bit of damage. Amazed. I don't think does. Ah, Latifi getting caught out already by Liss having a little bit of a spin, which then collected Latifi. Hopefully Latifi's car is all okay. As Blackie's sort of really back. Oh, it is a safety car. I couldn't see it. So we have a safety car in an 8-lap race. So that'll let everyone box. Surely if you box, you go for the softs. Thank you for the predictive pit stop strategy, the F1 game. But if we get carnage of that on the first lap of 22, or even through the whole race, which I would prefer. It'd be very good racing. As yes, Aiden saying it was a good move in the tier 3 chat. It really was, round the outside. Doing what Hamilton couldn't do. So we have Master Squid, JT, this and Hayden Cass all boxing. Latifi moves up to P14. As that was Blair letting Aiden through. That was confusing. Now we'll file through. Hopefully the safety car will be in soon. I mean, it will have to be in by lap 6 because it would. We have to have 2 laps of racing on this game. So apparently the Las Vegas race time will be very early in the morning. (6 AM on the Sunday in the UK. Will be a triple header, which I think will be a bit hard on the teams. Brazil, USA and Abu Dhabi is a triple header. We have a quadruple header that actually clashes with the GT Championship at Spa. So Spa's now no longer after the break. Used to be a brilliant track after the break to come to. Safety car will be in surely at the end of the next lap if no one comes in, and Blackie will be able to lead the way, because he did actually get a really good reaction to the lights, and that's this coming in the pit lane. He wants to get on, I think so. This coming on off the softs, maybe going on to the mediums. But actually, we've not actually got anything up. Look at that, shush up 9 places, and Master Squid, your biggest loser, down 7, who's still on the track. Oh, he got front wing damage somehow. Unless he didn't box originally. No, he did. So somehow he got front wing damage. So that's just Thiefy and Phoenix overtaking each other. And the TV he's had to go off track to give Phoenix a position. I think he might have accidentally overtook the Alfa Romeos. This will catch up to the queue definitely on the longest track on the calendar. In a whole nearly 2-minute race lap. It was a really long circuit. I think it's in the Ardennes Forest, if I want to say is correct. It is the Arden Forest. I thought it was correct. But as we're getting underway here, as the safety car is in this lap on lap 3 of 8, so we'll get underway on lap 4. We'll spectate the Ferrari of VLX Blackie. Of course, a new Ferrari livery, which I quite like. Maybe not the yellow on the body, but definitely on the rear wing. And at the front of the car, it is quite a nice looking livery. It's all about when does Blackie go. He's holding this big train behind it. It's quite intense. Holding up this train. He could go early and sort of catch some of the guys behind off guard. Go on board with Aiden, see his reaction as he's just very wide near enough. It's Blackie's let go. Blackie's not gone. And he's given them all illegal overtakes. As passes, that's oh my god, that's half going down Blackie's inside and getting the position. As it's all starting to kick off. Oh, and that's a big flat blocking man. Round there at turn 1. Off the traction. But I don't know what's going on there. Blackie has lost the position. That's Aiden going around the outside of Passy, making it work. And now nearly Raven maybe going for a move on the AlphaTauri man, but Harv has been re-overtaken by Blackie and maybe Blair as well. He has. Pretty slow in a straight line is Harv's Red Bull. Seeming to make it work. Is that Shush? Has he gone round? He has. He's gone straight on at the locomotive chicane as Master Squid let JT past, I think, there. But look at that. The Alpha. Oh, is that Williams? The Williams of Amaze and the Haas of Jacob making contact. And that's another incident on the track. I don't think it has brought out another safety car. Of course. I kept getting confused by words there. We have another safety car. Amaze and Cheetah. Two big guns in this Grand Prix. Out early in this sprint. But yeah, this is of course Cheetah's home GP. Safety car is deployed once more. So as the safety car is filing through, Shush, Jacob and Blockyman all get a fresh set of soft compound tyres on. Safety car could be in this lap. That doesn't seem to be going too well for some of these drivers. But it's gone well from Latifi from that spin. He's up into P10. You can maybe still get a very good position out of this race. Safety car's not in this lap. Maybe in the next lap. That's another lap. Going round the track. The thing is, it's just not an entertaining track to go around under safety car. There's no football to look at. Now weave down the come straight. Hopefully you won't have this many safety cars in the main race. Just clean it, battling. Huge DRS strength that actually involves battling. Safety car will be in at the end of the establish. Jacob falls to the back of the train. He's boxed again, it seems. As we have a total of... What? Jacob should pass that blocky man there. What? Oh, I don't know, maybe it was just one of those things where you overtake him and let him through again. But we have a total of 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 5, 7 drivers on softs, and most, even though it says like 4 laps, they've only really done half a lap of racing. So again, as Blackie leads them away from Blair, but this time it's Harv instead of Aiden. Them two have swapped round. So will Blackie do the same sort of mistake that he did last time? We've got to go for it. We've not actually gonna have DRS, I don't think, in this session. There'll be no more safety cars from now on. So here we go. Blackie will lead them away. Stay on board with Harv, and they do the same thing again. As here we go, Blackie leads him away. It's Blair. He's going to go down his inside into turn 1 maybe, and try and get this move done nice and early. As he locks up though into the source, Blackie able to get the switch back there. And now he will have to try and attack going down into the Gom, down the Camel Straight. And now up through the left right of Rouge and Raddy on Blair, cutting a bit of the corner there. Probably did give him a bit of a warning. He's using most of his ERS to maybe try close in. Will he be able to make the move? No, he's just a bit too far back going into the com. Closes right back up on the brakes. As that is Listen, Hayden Cass, as Raven gets the first penalty of the race. As this gets past Hayden Cass. And he makes the move stick. So this is now 1.3 behind the Mercedes of Master Squid and JT. Will sort of step behind Latifi, but as that's Phoenix going a bit wide through No Name, it's going to allow Latifi to maybe make a move into a bit of an unorthodox position, maybe into Puon or the chicane coming up. So that's actually a spin for JT. He's spun round the Puon, manages to keep the car in a straight line, but that is him down at the order and probably finishing in P18 if Master Squid didn't spin as well through the chicane that I do not know the name of. But he's spun at that chicane, and that's not gotta be good for his cause. And Actually, both were on 5 lap hold off, so if we go off that trend, it's Van's next, who's now catching up to Hayden Cash up in front. We'll try and make the move into Boncharon. Max Verstappen, Ericsson next. So let's see, will he be able to pull off the move into the braking zone? Yes, he does, and that's maybe Fat Blocky Man going with him as Latifi gets past Phoenix up ahead. Phoenix makes a bit of a mistake, and that's actually Shush pulling over to the side of the road to let some cars through, and Fat Blocky Man follows Itch Van through and now gets ahead of Hayden Cash. As now we have Phoenix versus this soft versus medium. It seems the medium is flying away a bit here. We're on lap 8 of 8, the final lap of the sprint. Now we're going down Lecombe straight, sorry. Will Phoenix be able to get past this? It's all up to this. No pun intended. As now going round the outside does Phoenix, and he manages to get the move on these older mediums. And nicely done from the Alfa Romeo, maybe keeping himself in that P10 position for qualifying. As that's It's Van, and that's Blocky Man round again. He's been hit by someone else, I think. I did hear a bit of contact in the background as It's Van really trying to get on to the back of this. I think Master Squid has spun round, but we won't move back and look at him as there's some battles heating up in this race. Will Latifi be able to get Luis in time? All about this Blanchimont straight. That's actually Shush round. That's put him down into 16th. Now it's all about going down through Blanchimont. Is there going to be anyone close enough to make a move into the bus stop chicane? Look at them flying up into the braking zone. Who dares to brake latest as Latifi nearly goes into the back of Luis up in front, as that's Blackie wins the Grand Prix, wins the sprint race, sorry. He gets ahead, and I think as Latifi gets past Raven, as that's Jacob round, and Hayden Cash has been able to re-overtake him and gets P14. He will qualify in P14. Fat Blocky Man, Shush and Master Squid will round out your your finishing order. So Blackie wins the sprint race, so he starts on pole, followed by Blair in second, Harv in third, ERL, Aiden H in fourth, Passy in fifth, sixth is FRT Tom, seventh is Luis, eighth is Latifi, and we'll go through the rest of the grid in a second. I think it was Raven ninth, and then it was as Latifi gets driver of the day for the sprint race, which I cannot say is wrong. I mean, we did only have like 2 racing laps. But the game is the game. So, your sprint race order. Blackie on pole, followed by Blair, followed by Harv in P3, Aiden in 4th, Passy 5th, Tom 6th, Luis 7th, 8th is Latifi, rounding out the points, as Raven is 9th, Phoenix 10th, This in 11th, Itzman in 12th, JT in 13th, Haydencast 14th, 15th for Jacob, 16th for Fat Blocky Man, 17th for Shush, 18th for Master Squid, and the 2 DNFs of the sprint race are Amazed and Cheetah. Itzman had a good race as well. So actually, that does allow Passy to extend his lead by a few points in the championship. And now all to play for. So now we'll wait for the race. We'll see what everyone goes on. Probably a hard medium. Or medium hard. So we do have a lot of drivers moving over to the hard compounded tyre. What are your predictions for the race? Say it into the chat. I'll say mine. I'll think I'm gonna go for there in P1 with Aiden third and Blackie, Aiden second and Blackie in P3. So, as we are starting the race, there will be no formation lap once again as we are stuck on the results of the sprint. Which is not very good. Hopefully it sorts itself out in a second. No, it has not. As we get underway, we can't see a thing. We're gonna have to restart the game. No, what is it with this game and its glitches? As it seems that Blair going around the outside of Blackie. We can just about see through all this. We can keep doing this actually. As that's Blair having a good lead, followed by Harv. We can use the race director to go off the results. As it seems that we've had maybe an incident in the background. We have, and it's Latifi again! He's out of the race! I think there might be a safety car. We do have a safety car. This gives us